1. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Attack the Talk. We are here. Another beautiful Sunday. We're streaming live. Hopefully our friends are able to go ahead and join us. We're going to continue on with the story, guys. And yeah, we finished up episode 7 last week. It was a 3-parter. And we're going to be starting off part 1 of our episode breakdown discussion. That is episode 8. This episode's name is Outside the Walls of Orvud District. Orvud District. Interesting. Find out more about that. Of course, warning to all of our friends, spoiler talk is very, very possible in all of our episodes. We'd love to go ahead and talk about them spoilers. So if you guys are not caught up and are trying to stay away from any spoiler territory, you have been warned. You guys know the drill. My name is AJ. I'm your host. I'm doing well, and I want to ask my co-host and my sister, Lex, how are you? How are you doing?
Hello. I am pretty good. I've been productive, but also giving myself time to relax, which I'm getting used to. Yeah, that's good. Relax is always a good thing to have. I relaxed so much today. Yeah. Oh my gosh. No, me too. I took like 4 different naps today. It was one of those. Between all of that, I went grocery shopping. I did some dog sitting. Nice. Very, very good. But yeah, today was one of those lazy days, and nice to go ahead and be alert, ready to go ahead and talk. Yeah, definitely a recharge day, but happy to go ahead and be here ready to talk about some Attack. Yep. Yeah, this episode is all over the place. This is going to be one of those episodes where we see a range of emotions. We hear from a lot of different characters, and we even see an absolutely gruesome sight. As we ended off last week's episode with Mr. Reiss himself transforming because he got very, very desperate, and yeah. So we're going to go ahead and just find out a little bit more about him in his Titan form, unfortunately. Find out the magnitude of the size of this Titan. And that's something that was very, very interesting and jarring to me, is when how they described this Titan in terms of his size. It's like, whoa. Yeah. It's like, that's I knew that insane. He was big, but yeah, I didn't realize that he was that. You don't realize how that he was that big. But yeah, so it's going to be fun to go ahead and do that. And like I said, hear from a lot of our, a lot of different characters that, we don't necessarily always hear from. Mm-hmm. And we even, I think, lose some characters. We even lose a character or 2 in this episode. So yeah. So stay tuned. Yeah, that'll be very, very interesting. But happy to hear that you're doing well, Lex. Happy to hear that you are too, as well. Also, along with. Yeah, just recharging and just chilling and yeah, just doing our thing here. I also want to take the time to go ahead and update you all that this next coming weekend is a weekend that I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be away. I'm going to be away for work. I will be in Mississippi for probably about, depending on what we get done, maybe 2 weeks. So like 10 days to 2 weeks. So, which means that we will not be streaming live next weekend. But still stay tuned, because we do have some content planned for you guys. Yeah. The plan is get something out for you guys. The plan is to go ahead and still have an episode available for you guys on Fridays. You guys know Fridays is when we upload our episodes. So next week on Friday would be this current episode. Yeah. Right? So this current Friday episode is this one. Yeah. And then the following Friday. So the following Friday, while I still will be away, will be the episode that we go ahead and record. So you guys will get an episode, but it'll be a pre-recorded episode, which means unfortunately we will not be able to go ahead and streaming live talk to you guys. But we still want to make sure that we had content for you guys nonetheless. The story continues, and we just knew that 2 weeks is too long to not have any Attack the Talk content. Of course. To not go ahead and continue on with the story. So keep an eye on that, guys. And then, of course, you guys know we start off our episodes with diving into the poll question and the Q&A. We'll go ahead and we'll get into that shortly.
You guys know, of course, we'll go ahead and we will recap the events that took place. We already did a little bit of that for last week's episode. Also, shout out to Zach making his appearance and making his presence felt last week. So
last episode.
It's always fun whenever we have Zach here with us. And I don't want to go and speak on his behalf, but with Zach in his life, things change on the daily. And I know we talked about last week how his schedule is really, really getting busy and how he is moving on to big things. Zach is trying to clear up his schedule because he really enjoyed being back, and he wants to be back more often. And so again, I don't want to speak for him, but Zach is going to go ahead and try to be here more often instead of making appearances and being gone and making appearances. He doesn't want to do that anymore, and so hopefully Zach's able to go ahead and make his schedule fit all of that. And you guys know that we enjoy whenever Zach is here. That's, man, the early episodes, man, we all started together, and there's so many times when we go ahead and get into those crazy theories, get into the crazy talk of all these different topics, and it's always nice to just kind of spiral with you and Zach, and I feel like we get good content like that, so Zach, whenever you're ready, baby, come on over,
We'll be here. And
don't know what else I want to go ahead and update you guys with, and that's pretty much all updates right now that I have in mind. Is there anything you have in mind, Lex, you want to go ahead and kind of update, or should we go ahead and jump into the Q&A and the poll
I don't
question?
think I have anything, unless you want to shout out your current aspiring project.
Actually we can go ahead and do that. For those of you that are not aware, this is something we did 2 weeks. No, we did last week. We did a fun little kind of audition tape over on stream, and it's something that we kind of just almost like theater practice. We kind of did preparations. I did some lines, and then I had you, Lex, I had Zach, I had Luca there feeding me lines and telling me different ways to go ahead and deliver the lines, which was a lot of fun. And you guys know the lines are Shiggy lines. So the aspirations, of course, are to get an audition to try to become the live-action Tomura Shigaraki, and it is a role that I am destined for. It's a role that I dream of every night, and sometimes it freaks me out because sometimes I have those scary dreams, where I just for whatever reason, I just with the touch of my 5 fingers, poof, there goes Lexi, and poof, there goes my parents, and poof, there goes
our
dogs and stuff, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and it terrorizes me. But you know what? That just means that I'm just destined for the role. I wake up in fear, but then it calms me knowing that I know why I'm having those dreams. I know. He's calling to me.
He's calling
to me, and in order for this dream to happen, I mean, it's going to take some help, of course. You guys know that anytime you try to get into the field of entertainment, that it takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of luck, and it takes
a lot of people.
It takes a lot of people, and people just need to get lucky and get given an opportunity, right? And so I guess what we're trying to do is we're trying to get the eyes out there. And so I know Lexi was working on creating a nice little highlight reel of compilations of different lines that I delivered that were good. And so you sent me something earlier this week, which was awesome. It was a cool little compilation. It was like a 2-minute thing, a 2-minute video, and so I guess the plan, Lex, is to go ahead and kind of just start posting some TikToks. You have one that's out right now, right?
Yeah, we have a TikTok that's out right now. It would do us a lot of good and help us out a lot if
spread the word.
Spread the word, of course. Hopefully you guys...
I don't know if you can go ahead and do it over on...
in agreeance with us involving AJ wanting to be that live action Shigaraki. But I mean, if you guys check it out, check out the voice lines and the reference
Virtual
and everything. It's pretty solid. So go ahead and check it out it's on my TikTok at, I think my TikTok is Lexamundos3.
Okay. So look out.
Yeah, it's Lexamundos3, Lexamundos 3. Please go ahead and check out that TikTok and share it with your friends. Blow it up.
Yeah, and then Kyron, if you're
more to come.
If you're watching this too, Kyron, Kyron can go ahead and repost that too as well, right?
Oh yeah,
and stuff.
Totally.
The Attack Talk podcast, and
That's a good idea.
And that'd be awesome. But the point is, guys, we got to go ahead and just spread the, spread the little audition tapes and stuff. Spread the little lines that we go ahead and feed. And you never know. Again, all it takes is some luck. And you guys know that this podcast himself. Speaking of the man himself, Kyron, what is up, buddy?
Hello.
Kyron. Please tell me,
up,
Kyron, that you're doing well, my friend. I hope that you've been good. I hope that everything's been good. And SBO, that's so awesome. Wow, you know what? What I was gonna go ahead and say, guys, is this community is built on support. This community is built on just like positivity and love. And you guys know that you show it to us every single time, and we want to go ahead and spread the love back to you guys. And that's why I really need your guys' help. Because there's so many talented people in this world that aren't given an opportunity because, when they don't take the chance, they don't go ahead and take that leap. But they also need a support team, a support system, whether they be, their family, their friends and whatnot. And you guys are both. You guys are both of that to me. You guys are my friends and family here over in Attack the Talk. And, it's just about trying to go ahead and just like help each other in whatever it is and this isn't a play with words, but whatever our endeavors are. Yeah, I mean, if I'm going to go ahead and get any sort of look, maybe some water.
Something stuck in my throat.
Maybe some water.
Let's see how these lines go today.
I'm getting this heartfelt plea here, and all I hear is
hey, they don't hear it that bad though, because I'm pushing the mic away.
But in all seriousness, guys, people, or so many different talented people in this world who aren't given an opportunity in whatever it is that they're kind of like, potentially could be destined for. And it's sad to say, but I mean, there's a lot of different opportunities or open doors that we just don't go through, or we're too afraid to go through, right? Or we don't take that chance, or we just are never really given the opportunity. But like I said, I need you guys' help. Lexi, she's putting in TikToks together of some of my lines as Shiggy, and I would really, really appreciate it a lot if you guys would just kind of do whatever you can to just spread the word. I don't know if you guys could tag the powers that be. I don't know if you guys could go ahead and just retweet it, whatever. I mean, not retweet it. I'm so out of the loop with social media. You guys, if you guys don't know now, then I don't have social media. Lexi is still choking on something. I don't know what she's choking on, but
I don't either. It's so stuck in my throat.
Yeah, this is gonna be a fun episode for sure, guys.
So
yeah, you have how many lines today? You have a lot of lines today. So
like all of them. Oh my god.
But
it's definitely stuck in my throat.
Your guys' support again means the world to me. Spread the word. Do whatever you guys can, and we'll continue to do what I can. I also am working on some cosplay stuff, so I want to go ahead and be more Shiggy in the sense of like also looking the part. All good?
Yeah.
And,
oh my gosh.
So keep an eye out for that.
Sorry.
For some Shiggy cosplay, but also I want to make it serious. I don't want it to be like, comedic and goofy. That's not Shigaraki at all. Shigaraki is not about comedy. He's not about being goofy. He's about killing All Might.
Yeah, it's pretty serious.
Ruining All Might's life, and that's what I want to do. I so badly want to kill All Might. You guys have no idea. Like, if there ever was an All Might in this world, that like, just the thought of just like an All Might being out there, just like burns me up inside.
He's going method.
It just, I don't think it would do us any good if we had an All Might in here. It would only lead to more issues. It would only lead to more problems. Just think of Homelander. If anybody knows who Homelander is, you know what? Like, I'm trying to be the Shiggy that wants to end the Homelanders, okay? I'm tired of all of these heroes you go ahead and hear about who they do so many good things, right? But they don't. So that's why I need to be Shiggy. It's because I feel that essence. Like I said, I have those nightmares of just murdering my family in my sleep. And it freaks me out, guys. It scares me. But as I said, when I wake up, I go from fear to calm. Because I know that Shiggy's calling to me. That or it's all for one. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I know. It's all for one controlling you, manipulating you.
No, kidding, guys. End scene.
Full method.
But yeah, I mean, it's an opportunity, guys, that I want to go ahead and try to kick that door down, try to find a way. You know, me and Zach were talking the other day about trying to see what the next step is. You know, do we seek representation? Because I mean, shoot, like, and you guys let me know too, because I was trying to go ahead and plant a seed in Zach's mind where I'm like, look, dude, I think that you could be a good, like, split personality person. I feel like, I was like, no offense, bro, no offense. I love you.
You're bipolar.
You know, but I'm telling you, when I think you can be a badass twice. And his eyes lit up. And he's like, that's a great idea, but it's also a terrible idea.
Yeah.
But it's so terrible it just might work, but I hate it. And I knew twice. Right then and there, that's twice. And so you guys let me know. Should me and Zach seek some sort of representation? Should we put money and try to invest in ourselves and hope that whoever we invest in is going to help us find auditions?
Yeah. We would appreciate.
Are they going to appreciate our passion for my hero? You guys already know, if there was a greenlit Attack on Titan live action series, whoever is, you know, was being produced by, then we're talk about passion.
Yeah.
You know, we'll go ahead and we'll do whatever we can to go ahead and to get some roles, man.
Get some of the real fans involved.
But yeah, guys, all joking aside though, like, you know, just it would mean a lot for you guys to go ahead and try to just help whatever TikToks Lexi puts out there, and in terms of the whole Shiggy audition stuff, and even just supporting Lexi in general. If you guys like her stuff, then, you know, then that would be awesome. But I mean, yeah, let's go ahead and let's try to make some noise.
Let's get it done.
And plus, I would love to go ahead and be a resource. I would love to be somebody who found the way in. And for anybody that wants to even think about, you know, getting into some sort of acting or whatever, like, I want to be an ally.
Have an aspiring dream.
I want to be like,
be creative.
I want to be a doorknob that you guys could use to try to just open that door. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, it's up to you guys how far you want to go ahead and open that door.
We'll help you oil.
Because we know that it's up to the person to put in the work, right? But I want to be the doorknob, right? To where you just go ahead and you turn me, and then I try to do what I can, you know, and then you just either open that door wide open to where you can go ahead and walk in, you know. But either way, I just want to be a way of helping, and I think that'd be awesome. Mm-hmm. And SB is absolutely right. Anything worth doing takes work and a lot of time and money too, unfortunately, yes. But you should definitely look into representation. Yeah, it's something that, you know, again, me and Zach were talking. Zach was over actually yesterday.
Into something.
Zach was over yesterday. He was over watching the UFC fights with us, and also shout out to the GOAT, Amanda Nunes. You know, she did her thing, man. She put on a beating over on her opponent, and she retired on top. And shout out to Amanda Nunes. But yeah, I mean, SP's absolutely right. You go ahead and you hear about people having to go ahead and what's the cliche saying? You have to put in money to make money. Yeah. Right. Something like that. But yeah, I mean, again, it's all about putting in the work, guys. And I know that, like, if I were to go ahead and get the opportunity, like I said, for me, I'm just trying to make some sort of noise to where I can even get some sort of attention to where somebody could be like, hey, do me a favor, go ahead and come in for an audition, or hey, we'll schedule some sort of Zoom call for an audition.
Yeah.
Like I just
let me talk to you more.
An opportunity. And then it's up to me to go ahead and put everything that I got into whatever that audition is, right?
Yeah.
And I know that there's a lot of work to put in.
But just being heard would be a blessing in itself.
Yeah. But like I said, for the 10th time now, guys, anything would help. And I'm so thankful for you guys, of course.
Yeah,
you know,
you guys are always so supportive. You guys are our family.
Yeah. And, you know, I really do. I love you guys so much. I mean, you guys mean the world to us. And, you know, just everything that we've had, everything that have gone through, everything that we have, like created and built up into this point, like, and this podcast is still growing. And then, just think about how much it would grow if the actor who's playing Shiggy is part of.
That's crazy.
No, I'm kidding. But yeah, you guys are awesome. I love you guys very much. And just thank you for everything. So yeah, I mean, that's my little rant for the start of this podcast
After
episode.
You were like, anything you want to shout out? And I was like, you can shout that out.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. But I'm happy to hear, Kyron, that you're doing good. Super busy. Busy is good. Busy, it means that you're doing your thing. Give yourself
a break, but I'm glad you're good.
Yeah, as we mentioned at the top of this episode, just about giving yourself the time to go ahead and just kind of recharge and whatnot. But you guys know that I'm happy whenever you guys join us, and that means you guys make the time to be here, and I'm so thankful for that. Mm-hmm. You're fine, though, right, Lex? I mean, SB says your face. I mean, I wasn't freaking you out too much, right?
I think I just looked like uncomfortable because I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
So my brother is a villain, but I still support him and love him.
And it's weird because you know what? If anybody knows me, I'm far from a villain. But for whatever reason, villains are so intriguing. I think that anybody...
They're always more interesting.
Yeah,
always.
Anybody can go ahead and say that, just like... When they watch something, the villains are always the more interesting characters, especially when you have like such well-written characters and like My Hero, right? And even when we're talking about like Attack on Titan, we know that our favorite Jaegerist, Jacob, right?
Yeah.
Reiss, who joins us, Reiss is very much Jaegerist in terms of he loves Flock and he loves Eren, especially the Eren who we see now in the story. And, again, those characters can be very, very interesting to people for sure. Like for me, I never thought that the character that I would go ahead and gravitate towards would be, of all people, Tomura Shigaraki.
Yeah.
And even then, when I saw even Overhaul was a character, I was like, okay, wow, like this character is very, very interesting. And there's so many interesting characters. Yeah, shout out to Kellen Goff, the voice actor in dub for Overhaul. But yeah, it's just like they're so interesting, right? And especially people love anti-heroes as well, anti-heroes and all that, and how different stories and whatnot that we have in different iterations, Marvel, DC, or whatever, different kind of, stories, anime and stuff, like I think we can go ahead and consider Twice an anti-hero. I mean, Twice is a very misunderstood character who has gone through a lot of torment in his life. And that's part of it too, is that you see the origins and you see like the torment that a lot of these characters had to face and endure, and then it changes their kind of their perception and out in their just mindset over on
they're like
on
victims
life.
Of their own situation,
and they just know that nothing's ever going to go ahead and like get handed to them. Essentially, is that they're going to have to make things happen, and sometimes it's not always the best thing. They're not always after the best thing, I should say. But yeah, so villains are cool.
Villains are cool, yeah.
But
oftentimes you understand their goal, but they're usually going about it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Which is what makes them so interesting.
Definitely. But all right. So happy to hear that our friends are doing well. And I think that we can go ahead and get into the poll and the Q&A. So whichever one you want to start with, Lex, go ahead and let you take over the reign now. I give you permission, Shiggy.
Oh, thanks. Thank you, Shigaraki. I'm going to start with the Q&A that we asked you guys last week. We asked you guys, do you think that your physical ailments present themselves in your Titan form? And we asked this because last episode, very short recap, Krista, or Historia, she flipped Rod Reiss right on his back, and you can like hear cracking.
Yeah, judo flipped that dude, freaking broke his back, and now he's
dude was
just
clearly
like
in pain, crawling to the spinal fluid. And then when he turned into a Titan, we know that his Titan can't really like walk upright. It drags himself like he's crawling.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh, is that because? Like we posed a question where it's like, is that because of his back in his human form, because it's broken, he can't walk as a Titan. So we kind of brainstormed, like Zach sent something where it's like, oh yeah, in season 4, Eren, he grew his leg back before he transformed.
Yeah.
So we have 2 responses to this. One of them is from friend of the show, Eddie. Hello, Eddie.
Shout out, Eddie.
Eddie says, yes, like Eren's hair growth. And I think that he's referring to the fact that his Titan has long hair, and it seems like the hair gets longer as Eren's hair gets longer. Like it seems, I'm pretty sure that's what he's referring to because, I mean, Aaron's Titan has always had longish hair, even when Aaron, like, when we first see him in season 1 in his Titan form and everything.
I mean, the only time he doesn't have the long hair is when we see him in his pure Titan form, in his little, like, demonic little Titan form.
His little
right?
gremlin.
He has, like, the short hair that Aaron has over in, the early seasons. But
very similar looking. And then when he has the Attack Titan and Founding, his hair is longer. And I feel like his hair gets longer as his actual... You playing musical chairs over there? Having fun?
I'm trying to fix myself here.
And I feel like his hair gets longer through the seasons as his hair grows out. Like, I mean, like his hair gets longer in his Titan form. Because I'm trying to think, when he's in his Founding Titan form, his hair looks really freaking long. So...
Oh, yeah.
It could be because he has long hair? Is that why?
The longer the hair, the more power.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's like Gon.
Yeah, exactly.
And like all the Dragon Ball Z characters, when they're
different forms, when you get to Super Saiyan 3 and all
their hair keeps getting longer and longer. Everything has to do with hair. E All Might's strand of hair. Everything has to do with hair. It's all connected.
Yeah.
But thank you for that, Eddie. Very interesting.
And it's an interesting theory too.
Yeah.
Think about, because it makes you wonder. Like, wow, that's right.
So if someone like is in a wheelchair, their Titan wouldn't be able to walk.
I don't know. You know what makes me think about I can't remember what year it was. It was probably in the early 2000s, but the movie Doom, where it had Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in it, and there was just one scientist who is in a wheelchair, and then he gets infected and becomes like this Doom zombie creature thing, but it's really like a monster, and his monster is like this crazy looking. He's kind of like, I don't want to say like a lion type or whatever, because obviously he's a monster and stuff, right? But it's the hind legs are essentially like wheels.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
it's like the physical. So the fact that he's in a wheelchair kind of presented itself in his monster form.
Yeah.
Which is what we're trying to theorize about the Titans over here.
But yeah, I mean this. Like this character here. The character's name is Pinky.
Pinky, great.
But so the legs essentially are just mechanical.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So,
interesting.
But in the movie, they're wheels. They're not.
Looks like a board.
They're not like
slug
robot legs. It's more like this.
But they're not like.
It's like this in the movie.
They're not organic legs. Yeah. They're not organic legs, which is.
But yeah, so I mean, that's what I'm kind of thinking.
That's
you
what
never
it's
know.
Like with Titans.
But SB is mentioning some awesome insight. You want to go ahead and read that, Lex? About
SB
Eddie
says to us that Eddie sent a cool Instagram post about Aaron's hair, and she agrees. She thinks that a person's Titan form does take on some of their physical attributes, and yeah, we definitely agree with that. Like with Annie's female Titan, like literally looks so much like Annie.
Yeah.
Like the blonde hair and the nose, like they just kind of look like they're Titans, and I feel like definitely their hair is a tell.
Oh yeah, when you realize it.
Unless you're the Warhammer and you don't have any hair.
Rhina and his armor Titan as well,
looks similar. Right. And then like we could see like the differentiation in Bertold's Colossal and Armin's Colossal.
Yeah.
Like they both look. They have different physical attributes. Like it is small, subtle
ears and no ears.
But yeah, ears, no ears, longer arms. Lankier.
Yeah, definitely Armin's is the more slender of the Titan,
Yeah, he's a little more slender.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for that, Eddie. Very interesting. And thank you for the SB for that insight.
Yeah.
Really cool. I'm happy to hear your opinion.
It's awesome to get more insight, because we were kind of like just diving into just a kind of like theory mindset of what Eddie, responded with. And so to go ahead and kind of get that kind of a little bit more clarity helps us out a lot.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm glad that you guys all stay in touch. That's so cool.
Yeah.
And our other response is from I Am Storm, aka Heise, aka Jacob. Yeah, our favorite Jaegerist. He simply says, yes, no doubt.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's in complete agreement with this theory that maybe your physical injuries, physical ailments present themselves in your Titan form.
Yeah. Well, part of it too, when you're thinking about it, like in terms of like biologically, right? Mm-hmm. That, I mean, obviously everything that they have in terms of transformation comes from their body.
Yeah.
Right?
it's like all pretty organic matter.
And so for them, when they go ahead and they were to transform, right, and let's say that you are like, I don't know, in the example we mentioned with Aaron in season 4, and he's missing his leg,
growing that leg back.
You know, like if he doesn't go ahead and grow that leg back, I mean, who's to say? You know, it's his Titan form already being in that kind of like that body already essentially, you know, legless.
Missing a leg, yeah.
Just transforms and like forms over the same kind of body or whatever. You never know. I mean, and I mean, Aaron at that point obviously is very, very powerful. So for him to grow the leg back like that, you know, he can do the same obviously in Titan form, but it makes you kind of wonder, man. Like, is it all just in sync with kind of like, you know, just mind and everything and stuff, you know? And I mean, I don't know,
because then it comes to a point where it's like, how far does the physical ailment have to go? Like someone born without an arm would probably have an armless Titan, probably have a Titan without an arm. But then someone who had an injury where maybe their finger got cut off, would they have the finger? Is it something that it's like, oh, you're born, if you're born with it, it'll present in your Titan form, but if you're not born with it, then it won't.
Yeah, I like what SB's saying, is that even non-Titan users, like the people who were turned into a Titan, look very much like themselves, right? Except evil baby Aaron.
Baby Aaron. I don't know. Kind of look like him.
I mean, it's just weird because I had like the weird pointed ears
hair.
and stuff, you know. And
you look like this weird little elf kind of thing.
But I mean, SB's got a great point too. With, I mean, the first Titan that comes to mind, unfortunately, is Pixis.
Yeah,
you know?
same.
And I mean, you can go ahead and see that's Pixis, and you know, even with Nile, I mean, Nile Doc, that's his Titan, you know, and
yeah, they really captured Dinah's smile really well. And
but even that bearded Titan. That could have had everything. Could have had the founding Titan, right? Could have. Well, no. Yeah, could have had the founding Titan, because at that time, you know, Aaron was given it.
Founding and the attack at the same.
Could have had all of that power, and
he didn't chew. He didn't kill the dude.
And you see him, I think, in season 3 when we go back to like Grisha's story, and the part of the same kind of like I can't remember exactly what the faction is, what they go and refer to themselves as, but he's a part of that group, and he looks just like himself.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's the thing too, is that they obviously they take the form. I mean, they take the form of their appearance and stuff, right?
And I think it's more
the exception
so
of probably the Beast Titans, you know, probably like the exception, because obviously we're talking about animals here. You know,
but I feel like definitely your pure Titan resembles you.
Yeah.
Because what we're seeing is Rod Reiss's pure Titan. Like, he doesn't have any ability.
Yeah, but the thing is,
he just has royal blood.
Yeah, it's just so strange to me, because I just don't understand why he transforms and has like this, why he becomes so massive. And I know it probably has to do with his bloodline, probably has to do with his royal blood, right? But it's just like, damn, this guy, again, we're going to talk about in depth about like more in terms of comparison of size, you know, his Titan compared to another Titan. And again, it's just like, wow, like that's kind of crazy in my eyes. But it's like, why did he go ahead and transform so crazy like that?
I know.
You know, it's kind of weird to me.
Effect. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. It's just,
the bigger the manipulator, the bigger
I guess. I don't know. Yeah, it's just kind of crazy to me. But yeah, thank you so much for the responses.
Yeah, thank you for those Q&A responses. Look out for more Q&As. And now we're going to move on to the poll. Asked you guys last week, who is most deserving of the founding Titan? So the options are Aaron, Historia, Kenny, or Rod Reiss. And starting again in normal fashion from least voted to most voted, we have least voted, thank God, Rod Reiss with 0 votes.
Okay, 0. Okay, I was going to say, if anybody who votes for Rod Reiss, I mean, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, I would love to hear their reasoning.
There's something wrong with you.
But yeah, Rod Reiss with 0%.
I mean, that's why even when we decided on this poll, we're like, okay, we are curious for the fact of seeing if anybody votes at all.
Because we had like a good idea. We're like, no one, like
this guy doesn't deserve any votes.
No one's going to vote for
He doesn't deserve any votes. Everybody else, you can go ahead and I could see votes going for, you know, the other characters because of, you know, it would either just be for fascination, either just be for, you know, selfish reasons, or you know, and then you're obviously going to have a little more so like the favorites for, you know, just thinking about the story and how it would help out the story, right?
Yeah. All the hypotheticals.
Yeah. So, I mean, happy to hear that good old Rod Reiss himself is at 0%.
Yeah. And next, with 16% is Kenny. Kenny with 16%.
Kenny Ackerman.
And next up,
this is just so nostalgic. I love it. Okay, but 16%, interesting. Okay.
And then next after that is with 22% Historia, which means top vote getter at 62% is Aaron.
Yeah.
So majority of people wouldn't change the story. They're like, yeah, Aaron deserves it. Let him.
Interesting. Okay. So we are going to put our thinking caps on.
We're going to put our hypothetical.
And we are going to go ahead and try to give a reason why. Each character potentially, is deserving of the Founding Titan.
Yeah. I will say Kyron and SB voted for Historia.
Ooh, would love to go ahead and hear about why.
Yeah.
That's awesome, though.
And Eddie voted for Kenny.
Ooh, we'd love to go ahead and hear.
The only friend of the show that really voted for Aaron was Heise. Yeah. Heise and Rena Nell.
Okay. So now let's start with Rod Reiss. Now, let's think hard about why he is deserving of the Founding Titan. Okay.
Royal blood, so he can wield it, and that's all I could
because of history, right?
Yeah. Because it's supposed to be in his family.
Yeah, because at this point we know that Historia herself is not going to do it. So for the sake of keeping that bloodline, right? The powers that be, I think that Rod Reiss claims it. However, he is not going to be the bloodline member that is going to save humanity.
Yeah.
Right?
He's just going
to have to keep the cycle going. And eventually he'll go ahead and he's going to have another kid or whatever and stuff,
Yeah. I could just see him just getting it just to pass it down.
He's going to have another kid and stuff, but I don't think he's going to pass it down just yet. I mean, obviously he's going to, with his 13-year lifespan, he's going to create another family and stuff, and then let's say the child who is 13 years of age is going to have to go ahead and take that power. And then just so the bloodline will continue until somebody is worthy enough of, and somebody who also has, like reasonable thoughts, right? Logic, and has that kind of kind, caring spirit that, like, Frida had.
Yeah.
And, but in order for that to happen, Rod Reiss has to take that Founding Titan. I'm sorry to say, but you have to go ahead and continue on with just the shitty bloodlines until we get a good one.
I feel like lifespans when you have to pass down Titans is like to keep it in your blood, in your family. You're just destined to have short lifespans because let's say he has a child right when he gets the Titan. Kid's going to be 13 when he passes it down. Then the kid only has until they're 26 to pass that down. But they would have to pass it down to one of their children who, again...
How does that make sense?
The absolute earliest that they could have it is 13, and they're already 13 years old.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
So they would have to pass it down again.
But again, there's going to be still members of the family, I think, because we know that this doesn't end with Rod Reiss.
Yeah.
We know that Historia is still around, and if Rod Reiss were to keep her alive, she would just be a tool to go ahead and keep the bloodline going. And then, I don't know if there's other family members. We don't know.
Or Uri?
Oh, he's dead.
Yeah.
I think that's dead.
R.I.P.
But,
you call him God.
I mean, the thing is, it's just, in order to go ahead and for the sake of maintaining history, Rod Reiss has to be the one to take it because, as I mentioned, Historia doesn't want it. So that means that we need the royal bloodline member, and that would be Rod Reiss to continue doing it. That is just an argument that we just made.
Yeah.
Well, you guys know that we do not want him to go ahead and be it.
But
we just have to give some sort of potential argument behind it. Right? We're just trying to be, neutral here to, all the different options we have. So now that moves us on to Kenny. And we know that Kenny had his selfish desires because he is overhearing and he understands as soon as Rod Reiss is explaining to Historia and to Aaron that the royal bloodline member is the one that is essentially going to
Be able to wield.
Yeah, be able to wield
power of the founding Titan.
Yeah, and that's something that with Kenny, he's kind of like, wait, so you're telling me that if I go ahead and transform myself, right? Mm-hmm. Essentially, I'm not going to have all the bells and whistles?
Pretty much. But that also makes me want to, like, that makes me curious, like, so would Kenny still take, like, what would he physically turn into? Like, yes, he would turn into his pure Titan, then eat Rod Reiss, but then what?
Well, the thing with him is that he's not only inheriting the founding, he's also inheriting the attack Titan.
So, you're right.
So he would go ahead and be this Titan that is in attack Titan form.
Yeah.
Not just, I
was thinking about
Titan
just founding because of the pull.
Yeah, because at this point, I mean, the only way that they can get the founding Titan is by, obviously eating Eren.
Obviously the guy that has both.
And so with Eren, I mean, he has the attack Titan. We're all very much aware of that. And so that means that, again, Kenny would have that power. But here's what I'm thinking. So Kenny has these selfish aspirations, right, of stealing the Titan away from Rod Reiss. Yes. But why? What does Kenny want?
Power.
Just power?
He wants
That's a lot of power to have.
And to be able to control the Titans is a lot of freaking power.
But what can he be a person to unselfishly go out of his way to protect humanity?
No. Unless it benefited him in some way.
Yeah. Again, it's just with Kenny, I mean, we know that he's Kenny and he loves to go ahead and do what Kenny does, and he loves Kenny, and it's all about Kenny.
Yep.
And Kenny has to survive. Kenny has to do what he needs to do to ensure his survival, and that means acquiring the power. Because I think he's sick and tired of having to go along with Rod Reiss and his plan and act like he is an ally. He's been waiting and chomping at the bit at the opportunity to go ahead and just stab this dude in the back. We know that. Because he tried to do it. But upon realizing that, he's, by him being essentially just not a royal bloodline member, he is an Ackerman, which obviously is an incredible bloodline.
Yeah.
But it's not what the founding Titan is best suited for. Which is why Rod Reiss also explains to us that this power is being wasted on Eren. And for me, I think that it would be very interesting to see Kenny as the founding Titan, because selfishly, again, it's just, he's such an interesting character. We talked about it, a few minutes ago about anti-heroes and whatnot. And Kenny kind of fits that mold a little bit. We know that Kenny is known as Kenny the Ripper because he did murder a lot of people. But let's not forget that a lot of the people he murdered were military police.
Yeah.
And we find out they are very, very corrupt.
Yeah.
And,
corrupt to begin with.
For Kenny, I mean, he was, he's going to go ahead and take out people who are going to risk his survival. And Kenny walks through those doors, baby, and he's got that power. Guess what? People are going to be bowing. And it'd be interesting to see what Kenny does. Don't think it's going to be anything good.
I would also be curious to know what Kenny would look like as a Titan.
Yeah. Makes me think that he would probably look a little bit more like Grisha's attack Titan, but more taller and more slender.
Yeah, I think more slender.
They would just had the long hair and stuff,
Grisha
because
had
we
that
see
big
that
old rib cage.
Grisha didn't. He just had like the stash and the little goatee, right? But somehow his Titan.
No, I thought that he had the full beard.
Grisha doesn't have a full beard.
Grisha doesn't?
No.
Oh, I thought he did.
His Titan form does.
Oh, so, that's what I'm... Yeah, that's not what you're talking about? You're talking about him.
I'm saying that for him in his human form, he doesn't have the beard.
Oh, yeah.
But when he becomes a Titan, he gets a beard. So that's why I'm thinking that with Kenny, Kenny doesn't have a full beard. But I think that his Titan would get, the full beard look.
His Titan just has the shadow. His Titan just has the 5 o'clock shadow like he has.
With a giant freaking Kenny hat.
Yeah, he would have a huge hat. Kenny would somehow have the military police build giant guns for him to use.
Yeah. At that point, Kenny can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
I mean, who's going to stop him? Not Eren. Who's going to be Zeke? Zeke's going to go ahead and show up and try to go ahead and reclaim. I mean, let's not forget, Zeke is a royal bloodline member. So, I mean,
true.
We talked about it with
Zeke
Rod Reiss about who, what other bloodline members are left. I mean, if Zeke decides to go ahead and have kids before he dies, they have some bloodline members in them. But yeah, I mean,
with Kenny, is there a good reason why Kenny should become the founding Titan? I mean, no. Other than just selfishly, like how interesting it would be for him to go against the corrupt government and just see what he does with it. What changes because of it. You know, I mean, I'm not insinuating that he's going to go along with the scouts and all that, right? Mm-hmm. But we don't
know. Maybe he'll have a change of heart suddenly. He'll rekindle his relationship.
Yeah, I don't know about
Levi.
all that. How would Levi feel about
like, bruh.
Kenny the Ripper becoming the founding Titan, being the person that kills and eats Eren?
I think we have to kill him, or we have to someone needs to reclaim him.
Well, you know who would try to go ahead and kill him would be Mikasa.
Yeah, and definitely.
Ackerman on Ackerman crime.
Because then that would mean that Eren is no more.
Yeah. But now let's go and talk about Historia, who obviously got the second place of the votes.
Yeah.
What percentage again? 22%. So it wasn't close at all.
Yeah.
She got second place in votes, 22%. And with Historia, I mean, again, you can kind of argue the same thing with Rod Reiss, except this time it'd be with a more pure of heart person in terms of maintaining history and keeping the royal bloodline member as the power in the person in control of the power, right? I mean, I think that with Historia, one, it'd be interesting to see, how she looks in her Titan form. I wonder if she would kind of resemble the same thing as like Ymir's Titan. I mean, the founder Ymir, and would she have that kind of ghastly like freaking look and complexion and the bones and skeleton on side? I think that'd be really interesting to see from Historia.
Yeah.
But also she has the Attack Titan as well.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, is she going to go ahead and kind of be more like, not necessarily Annie, but is she going to look kind of like the female Titan? You just don't know. But it would be interesting to see how she looks as a Titan. We know that with Frida and her Titan form, she looked like Frida.
Yeah.
Boom, right? Frida, yeah. So she probably would just kind of look like that. But I think it would be so cool to go ahead and get like a Ymir look with Historia. It would just strike cool. Fear in the eyes of anybody that opposes her. But in terms of how she would impact the story going forward, I mean, Eren is no longer in the picture, which means that we know genocide is not going to be a thing. Mm-hmm. And the only issue that she's going to have is that people are going to be after her because of, I mean, that's what freaking Rhaina and them are here for, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
They're there to go ahead and try to
reclaim that founding Titan.
So I mean, the founding Titan, that power is it's highly sought after.
A lot of people want that.
A lot of people want it, and so
I think that Historia's main goal would just be to try to liberate.
Would she go try to save Ymir?
Oh, I think that. I mean, I would hope so.
If she's in her Titan form,
I think her goal would be to obviously liberate humanity, but
she's going to have all of the memories. She's going to have the ability to go ahead and kind of like not just have the memories, but also like again through the pathways be able to speak, right, and stuff. And so it'd be so interesting to see if she's selfish to the point where she goes and she like sees where Ymir is, right. And she's obviously going to go ahead and know what they're going to do, what they're planning on doing with Ymir.
Yeah.
And then that means that she's going to go ahead and selfishly try to save her. And it'd be interesting to go ahead and see. Mm-hmm. I don't know if she's going to have the scouts.
I would like to see that, but she would definitely need some training because I do think that Rhaina would whip her ass. But yeah. Let's put her through some training and some exercises. And
really interesting. SB says that she actually thinks Historia would put the people of Parity before Ymir.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, that's the responsible thing to do, right? But selfishly, I mean, it seems like she obviously is, she hasn't let Ymir go, which we're going to see in this episode when we go and talk about it. But especially kind of getting the knowledge of the founding Titan, like it's a lot.
Oh yeah, the memories and everything that you're saying, then it suddenly your personal problems become so small. Yeah. You're like, oh crap. So I'm responsible for all of humanity. Never mind.
But yeah, I think that she just also might see the threat that that Rhaina and them all are, and the fact that Ymir is with them, that could be another kind of added sense of urgency for her to do something. But you never know. But interesting, SB continues saying that I want to see the love story unfold, but unfortunately, I think Historia's sense of duty would prevent it.
Yeah, I agree, SB.
Especially at this point, too, we see with Historia, I mean, she's very much on her own journey now. I mean, unfortunately, she has moved on. It's because she was forced to move on. And while she does recall Ymir, in this episode, also last week's episode, it's just, it's kind of like, when she recalls a person. You know, she's done it with Frida as well. It's almost like in a way of gratitude, a way of like, thank you for helping me be the person that I am.
Yeah.
Thank you for, you know,
journey.
Yeah, just unlocking my, you know, my potential, my myself. Thank you for helping me find myself, you know, and all that. And so I think SB just might be right. But again, I think it would be really, really cool as a selfish fan and viewer to see Historia go on a rampage and try to save Ymir, and then see Ymir seeing Historia in that state. All of a sudden, that might just light a fire in Ymir, and guess what? Now she wants to fight again.
And she is of royal blood, so she would be able to wield the Founding Titan properly.
Yeah. That's true. She also has the power of that Founding Titan, which means that she's probably not going to get her ass kicked by Reina, because we saw Reina got his ass kicked when Eren had just a little bit of that power.
Yeah.
And true. Damn, now we're talking here.
Imagine just like,
you imagine all of those rogue titans, all the rogue titans going after Reina or whoever in this night, and obviously
she just snatches Ymir.
You're gonna have Zeke. Hey! Obviously, you have Zeke's gonna go ahead and start flinging poo. He start flinging poo, you know.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Ymir realizes that no, I'm not ready to go ahead and quit. And she goes in she transforms, jumps on Zeke's face, and starts trying to claw Zeke, whatever this and that.
Like a rabid raccoon.
And then Bertold transforms and kills everybody. Okay.
Yeah. And then a nuke happens.
Yeah. Who knows? But
that'd be really interesting to see, though.
Yeah, very, very interesting. But now
the top vote getter.
That leaves us to exactly Mr. What percentage? 60 what?
62.
62%. Now, why is Eren the best person to continue to hold on to that Founding Titan?
I just think that it's like
for the sake of the story.
Yeah.
For the sake of what we already know.
Yeah, for the sake of the story and to not
for the sake of genocide
affect everything. Yeah. Keep Eren.
Because that's the thing is the butterfly effect. You don't know how if we change one thing, how it's going to alter and affect the others.
Yeah, because if Historia eats Eren is no more. I don't think Mikasa would just be like, bruh. Like, I don't think that she would just be like, yeah, you can have it. Like, she would like absolutely hate Historia and want to kill her.
Yeah.
Because she killed her man. So we don't know how whole butterfly effect would change if Eren wasn't the Founding Titan.
Yeah.
Or what powers would hold that Founding Titan, or if anyone of royal blood was holding it, and how it would change the story so much. So I think for the sake of the story, for the sake of what we know, out of fear of the unknown, that makes sense why Eren would be the top vote getter.
Okay.
And he did previously have humanity in mind. It's just in somewhere when he gets all the memories.
All it took was just a kiss.
It gets a little jumbled. Yeah.
All it took was just to
cause
everything to spiral.
How did it end up like this? It was only a kiss. It was only a kiss. Yeah, that's what that song is based on, actually.
But I'm still waiting, SB. Why did you vote for Historia? She voted for Historia, right?
Yeah. Other than her saying that she feels like the people of parody, she would put the people of parody before Ymir. But I would love to see her fight for Ymir, though.
Yeah. But I mean, if that's the reason, then yeah. But I thought that was just kind of her counter argument to my selfish desire of her going after Ymir. You know. But I mean, if that's just where it's at, she thinks that, you know, Historia would be the best person to go ahead and protect.
Has humanity more in mind.
Humanity, yeah. Then I mean, yeah. So be it.
Or just curious to see. Because I voted for Historia because I was just curious, because I want to see how I would want to see how it ended up, to see how she would wield that Founding Titan power. But yeah,
interesting. All right.
Thank you guys all for voting on the poll.
You all.
Look out for more polls and Q&As at Attack the Talk podcast on Instagram. And SB responds now by saying, I voted for Historia because she's of royal blood and would prevent the rumbling, but she's also got a good head on her shoulders, so she would be responsible with it. Yeah, I agree.
Very well said.
Yeah, I completely agree, SB. Yeah.
Speaking of rumbling.
I know. Yeah, look at on Attack the Talk podcast at Instagram for more polls and Q&As. Thank you guys all for your responses. We really appreciate it.
Thank you all so much. And thank you for the clarification, SB.
Yeah.
I love the response.
You're always so smart.
Alrighty, guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and let's jump into the episode. Again, this is episode 8 of season 3, Outside the Walls of Orvud District. This is part 1 of our episode breakdown discussion, and all we need to do, in terms of recapping, all we need to know is that Historia did not go along with the manipulation of her father, Rod Reiss.
Yeah,
we know that Kenny
kind of saw through it.
Wants to selfishly take the power, but he can't. So what he does is he tries to even the playing field and like, look, if Eren is going to die, then he should have an opportunity to fight. So you know that Eren himself is not necessarily completely, without defense. I mean, yeah, he's still in the chains, but Kenny took off the one thing that prevented him from biting down.
Yeah.
And but Eren himself, we see that doesn't necessarily have the fight in him. We're going to go ahead and continue to see that in this episode. But Historia
got a little manipulated there.
Decided to go and fight back against her father and rebel. And like Lexi mentioned, she flipped him over on his back, freaking broke his back. She saw through the lies, told him, you want to be a god so badly, you do it, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then she goes to try to save Eren. And Rod Reiss crawls and finds his way over to that spinal fluid little serum, and all it took was a lick, and then he's beginning to transform into this. All it took was a lick. Gruesome.
Yeah, you didn't have to inject the entire thing into your arm. Actually, all it takes was a lick.
Yeah.
Apparently, just get that spinal fluid.
What if that's the answer to the size of the Titan? It's like if you inject a lot, it'll kind of like
it'll stunt your growth.
Yeah.
But if you just have a tiny bit,
if you just a little bit. Then you're gonna go ahead and get overwhelmed with wanting more, and
I know. Then you're gonna strive for more and just be this giant thing.
No,
but we'll get more into that giant thing in this episode.
Yeah. So he's transforming, and also let's not forget that the scouts, the Levi squad, they're trying to go ahead and save Eren as well, but they're kind of stuck. Having to go ahead and fight through the anti-personnel control squad led by Kaven. And we're going to go ahead and see how that's going with the scouts. We know that the anti-personnel control squad have kind of, I don't want to say they did essentially retreat, but they retreated to go ahead and kind of regather themselves. And we saw that they went through a tunnel that they dropped down this kind of like metal barrier, like a netting, and so they're waiting on the scouts. So what are the scouts going to do? We're going to go and find out. But we know again that Hanji is not in the best shape because she had an altercation, an accident with her encounter with Kaven.
Into a wall.
Yeah. So I think we're all caught up there. So let's go ahead and let's start the story now. All right. The episode begins as Levi and the scouts continue making their way to rescue Eren and Historia. Levi leads the way as they reach the end of a tunnel in this underground chapel. The end of the tunnel is closed off by the anti-personnel control squad's barrier, or as Lexi described, the metal netting. We see Mikasa closely trailing the captain, and then Jean. And we see Armin and Moblit both helping Hanji because of her accident with Kaven. Inside the tunnel, Levi and Armin notice something from above, perhaps a way to continue advancing. Levi thinks to himself after noticing a wooden vent above them. Might be a way through, but it's blocked. Shit, if only we had some more gunpowder. And then, on the other side of the tunnel entrance, awaits Kaven and her many elite allies. Kaven warns her crew.
Keep your guns trained on that entrance. If we hold them here, we win.
And just as Kaven and her crew draw their guns, as they prepare for the scouts, suddenly, a large, bright light erupts from behind, signaling a transformation. Inside the tunnel, we see Captain Levi and his squad shielding their eyes from the brightness of this sudden transformation. Jean wonders to himself, that light. A worried Levi, damn it, no. And of course, a concerned Mikasa.
Eren!
Now back inside that ceremony chamber, we see the skeleton of this large Titan beginning to form. This Titan is so large that the entire chamber is beginning to collapse. And as we see Eren still in his chains, watching, we hear the Rod Titan roaring in the background. We see Historia hanging on to Aaron's body, trying not to fly away from the force of this transformation. Meanwhile, we see Kenny flying in the air, using his ODM gear to try to avoid and trying to escape. Back with Kaven and her elites, she yells to her crew,
"Everyone, brace yourselves!"
They use their ODM cables to dig into the ground so they don't get caught in the rush of wind. Inside the tunnel, Captain Levi and his squad also trying to get pushed back by the force. But then, Sasha notices from above as she warns her team,
"Hey guys, I think this place is about to collapse."
We see Armin and Mobilet trying hard to protect the injured Hanji. And then Armin realizes something. Armin yells out, "Captain!" Levi quickly turns around. Armin informs, "It opened up!" As Armin points to the vent above them. Levi now begins to take action as he orders, "Okay, Armin, Mobilet, you two take Hanji and find a way out of here." Back in the chamber, while the Rod Titan continues to transform, we see Kenny still hanging on with his ODM gear, trying desperately not to get caught in the storm. An annoyed Kenny yells out, "Stupid bastard! What the hell are you doing?" As Historia still hangs on to Aaron, we see that she's trying hard to free Aaron from his chains. A defeated Aaron tells her, "Just leave me alone, Historia! That Titan's from your family. Let him eat me and everything will be alright. Get out of here!" An adamant Historia tells Aaron,
"Not a chance."
Aaron continues his plea, "Why won't you listen?" Historia continues,
"I might be an enemy of humanity now, but I'm still your ally."
And then Aaron suddenly begins to listen.
"I can't be selfless, and I don't want to be a god, but..."
And now Historia recalls that moment of her and Ymir at the top of that snowy mountain.
"When I see someone crying, saying that no one needs them, I have to go and show them that it isn't true. You're feeling like I felt my entire life. That's why I need you to be okay."
And then Aaron gasps as Historia unlatches his chains. And as soon as there's now give in the chains, Aaron gets pushed back by the force, causing Historia to fly backwards. Aaron screams out to her, but just before Historia crashes into a wall, Mikasa catches her just in time. Historia is surprised and thankful to see Mikasa here. They both look out towards Aaron as Captain Levi lands in the middle. Levi screams out to Historia, "Give me the keys!" Aaron, noticing his ally's arrival, says, "Captain, all of you." And then quickly, Jean, he grabs onto Aaron's right arm as Levi grabs onto his left. Levi quickly tries to free his left arm as we notice Connie on all fours crawling, trying not to fly back. Connie now grabs a hold of Aaron's waist as Levi frees Aaron's left arm. Levi hands Connie the keys, telling him to quickly free Aaron's feet and then hand the keys to Jean. Aaron, however, still accepts defeat, saying, "Just leave me here! Forget it! Hurry up and escape!" Jean screams back, "Stop whining, you half-naked weirdo! We've got gunmen and a Titan coming at us, so pipe down!" Connie frees Aaron's feet, and he quickly hands Jean the keys. The Rod Titan's large body is still forming. Sasha, noticing the size of this Titan, she says,
"Whoa, it's even bigger than the Colossal Titan. Crazy."
The Rod Titan's size is quickly collapsing the ceremony chamber. Mikasa then takes notice of the ceiling collapsing as she warns out to Levi and the others. And then Levi and the others have now freed Aaron. And now they try to quickly get back, avoiding the falling pieces. As the Rod Titan continues to transform, Kenny finally makes his escape. "Damn it all, Rod! You really screwed the pooch. Here I thought you were the one man alive that understood Titans, but you didn't know enough, you dumbass." And as Kenny escapes, Kaven, she notices Kenny as she screams out to him,
"Captain Ackerman!"
Then Kenny quickly turns around and warns them, No! Get back! Meanwhile, the scouts are stuck and pinned against the wall with nowhere to go. Jean says, damn it, we'll be buried alive. But we see Aaron, eyes wide opened. He's wondering to himself, why? Shouldn't he be trying to eat me? Should I transform? No, my Titan would only get crushed. Aaron begins to tear up as he drops to the floor. He tells his allies, sorry, I can't. Aaron begins sobbing as each of his scout teammates look down at him. Aaron continues, I've been dead weight every step of the way. This power never should have been given to me. I can't be humanity's hope. I'm just too weak. Aaron then notices a capsule on the floor nearby that fell out of Rod Reiss's bag. Armor. Sean responds, come on, stop playing the tragic hero. Of course you're too weak to accomplish jack by yourself, but no one expects you to. Connie joins in. Yeah, calm it down. We've been through a whole lot worse than this, man. And Sasha adds,
not that I really want to get used to it.
Connie continues, still, it's gonna suck trying to fly through that mess. And Mikasa tells the others,
I'll take Aaron.
And Jean tells Historia, it's gonna take all that we have to not get hit, so hold on for your life. And we see that Historia is ready. But Aaron, still defeated, says, it's useless. You know we won't make it. But Historia has heard enough as she erupts.
So we should just do nothing? Want to sit here and hold hands till we get crushed? Or till we burn to death? You know dying here won't make anything better.
And Levi now speaks to Aaron. Listen, I really hate that I have to do this to you all the time, but you've got to make a choice here. Aaron now recalls the moment in the forest of giant trees when he decided to trust Levi and the Levi squad. And then suddenly, now Aaron begins to show some fight as he stares back at Levi with tenacity in his eyes. And then he quickly grabs the capsule of armor on the ground and begins running towards the Rod Titan, yelling with determination. Mikasa screams out to him, afraid to lose him. And as Aaron runs, we hear him say, I'm sorry, but since it's the end, this one time, just let me. And then Aaron bites down on the capsule. Let me believe I can do this! Aaron then transforms into his Titan. And we see his Titan begin spreading roots of hardened armor around the chamber. The roots begin to form a cocoon. And as the scouts watch in awe, Levi screams out to them, come on! Get under Aaron! The scouts run to Aaron, but still stuck. We see, trying to escape, we see Kaven. And as she tries to escape, we see a piece of the falling ceiling fall down and hit her on the head. And then Kaven begins to fall to the ground. One of her elite allies notices Kaven, and as he stops to try to save her, more of the falling rubble takes him out. And Kenny, he stops for a brief moment, witnessing this, worried. But he doesn't have the time to save them because he quickly now has to avoid all the falling pieces of debris. And now, the entire chamber begins to collapse on itself. We see Aaron's Titan in this cocoon, protecting his allies. Aaron's Titan yells out a ferocious yell, preparing for this entire chamber to collapse. Wow. All right.
Okay.
A lot that happened there, and let's go ahead and let's talk about it. Let's welcome Eddie. What's up, Eddie? Thank you for joining us.
Hello, Eddie. Hello.
Hope you're well, my friend.
Thank you for the response to the Q&A.
Hello, newcomer Goth Tits.
Yo,
Hello.
Goth Tits, what is up? Thank you so much for joining
I like
us.
the username.
Appreciate it.
What's up? Thanks for the thumbs up.
All right, guys, we got to go ahead and talk about what the hell just happened because a lot happened, right? We know that Rod Reiss, his Titan is transforming, and we get a brief kind of, idea of the size and magnitude of this Titan, as Sasha herself witnessing says that he is larger than the Colossal Titan. And the Colossal Titan himself is known as the Colossal Titan because he freaking overtowers absolutely all the other Titans. And so to go ahead and see and realize that, holy crap, this Titan is far taller than the Colossal Titan, has got to be so intimidating, so frightening, especially knowing that this Titan who is transforming in just the size and the magnitude of this, right?
Big for the underground chamber.
He's like all hunched up in this freaking chamber as he's like the more he transforms and grows and starts to develop that body. Everything in this chamber, this freaking, this ceremony chamber where they do all of the passing down of the founding Titans, right, is beginning to just collapse.
Made of the crystal stuff.
Yeah, it's all the hardened crystals. Exactly. That's a good, way to go ahead and get a better idea of all that's falling, because it's not all just ceiling shards and whatnot. It's the hardened crystal. Which again is very, very scary, but it's cool to see Historia is not giving up at all in trying to go ahead and free Eren, especially considering
still very much very much holding out for her own morality and her own belief.
Yeah, especially knowing that
she doesn't care how she's perceived at this point.
That she was supposed to go ahead and kill this person. She was supposed to kill Eren, right? But instead now she's going and doing whatever she can to go and save him, right? And
she doesn't care what people think about her decisions. She just knows how she feels, and that callback to Ymir and everything, and just knowing that she's like, you should not be crying. Like, she tells him, if I see someone crying thinking that they shouldn't be here, I need to prove them wrong, because that's how I felt my entire life.
I want to ask you, Lex, before the scouts make their way over to be able to save Historia. Obviously Mikasa there just in time to go and save Historia, right? And then Levi joins and the rest of the team, minus Armin and Mobley, because they're escaping with Hanji.
Helping Hanji,
right? When they're still in that tunnel and they're trying to decide what's the best way to go ahead and continue advancing, because again, they can't go through that metal netting because on the other side is Cave-In and all of the anti-personnel control squad. So they find that one kind of vent right over in this tunnel, but it's blocked off. They can't get through it. And then they see that light. Now, what do you think goes through their mind when they go ahead and see that? Because they're very much aware of what that light is. And that light obviously indicates that a Titan is transforming, right? So you got to think that the worst thing is coming to mind, right?
They're probably thinking Historia just transformed. She's about to eat Eren.
Yeah, so we have to act quick.
She got manipulated. Yeah,
she's gonna go ahead and
Eren's about to be eaten.
Yeah, so we have to be quick about it.
I'm probably thinking that Rod Reiss's manipulation is going to his plan.
Yeah, so that's what it was going through my mind too. It's like, oh damn, and now they're for sure running out of time. Because they're very much aware.
There was no discussion of what they're supposed to do. It was just we need to go.
Yeah,
no thinking, just act.
Yeah, and obviously they had the brains of Armin and the brains of Hanji, right? And so Hanji herself was able to go ahead and essentially theorize that in order for them to get the power, they have to eat Eren, right? So then in order for them to eat Eren, they have to transform into a Titan. So again, this is just another indicator that, holy crap, we need to be quick because we're running out of time.
Eren's about to get eaten. We got to go.
Yeah. But then that's when Armin's able to go ahead and, tell his team, tell the Levi squad that upon the transformation and the just gust of wind and everything that happened, right? And we see that literally people are trying to not fly away, right? That the vent itself was able to go ahead and create a pathway now because the force essentially broke it's like a wooden fencing. What it was.
That just got blown away.
So now they have a way to go ahead and get to Eren. So it's cool to see that they were able to make it just in time. Historia was essentially saved by Mikasa, and that's got to be such just a sigh of relief, knowing that we have some help now, right?
Yeah.
And especially the feeling when again we talked about the legend that is Captain Levi, right?
Yeah.
And so as soon as you see Captain Levi land, and again it's such a cool moment because it's so much is happening. Levi lands literally in the middle of Eren and Historia, right? He's looking at Historia and he's yelling her to give me the keys.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, we know that with Levi, I mean, he's acting quick, which obviously Eddie's also mentioned too, as I'm telling you, man, Levi's too quick, right?
Yeah.
And he's acting so quick. He's acting like, any experienced captain would, right? And he's doing everything he can to get his team out of there, you know? And it's such a cool moment seeing, Levi there. Jean, is even there trying to hold on to Eren as well.
Seeing everyone there supporting him.
Yeah, it was cool seeing, Connie as he's like crawling, he's like, you can tell he's afraid, right? We love Connie, but we tell that, he's...
But, which
he's
is
afraid,
understandable.
but he's still going to do it.
Yeah. I really like that we get to see a little bit of more of that bravery development from Connie too.
Yeah.
In these scenes where he's like, come on, man, we've been through a whole lot worse than this.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's the dialogue that we get from them, it's like...
They're all like very much like, dude, we have your back.
Yeah.
Like, stop groveling.
Especially when you see
crying,
the hope of humanity in this state where he's so defeated, And it's like...
Stop playing, like what Jean says. Come on, dude, stop playing the what do you say? The
tragic hero, yeah. And it's one of those things too where I'm like, Eren doesn't realize that literally if he doesn't do anything, that he's not the only one dying here.
Yeah,
that everybody else who's here. I get it. Aaron's trying to go ahead and plead to them, like please just leave, hurry up and leave, right? But
manipulated by Reiss.
But I mean, it's
by his memories.
Everything is happening so quickly, and there's nothing they could do now that can, cause him to escape. And we saw, unfortunately, with Kenny's team that they get caught in the storm of rubble as everything is collapsing. And
it's kind of almost sad. An off-screen death, but Kaven.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad because we talked about it in past episodes with Kaven and the relationship that, she has with Kenny and stuff, being Kenny's essentially right-hand man. And we talked about the respect, but it's like, does she really like Kenny or is she just kind of appeasing whatever, blah, 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 and this and that? But I mean, really there is that loyalty and stuff.
When there's all the chaos going on and she's Captain Ackerman.
Yeah, the way she even calls out to him too, it's with such kind of like care and such like
worry,
she wants to save him. And so let's not forget that Kenny himself was also injured because, with his battle with Levi, I mean, Levi sliced him over in the torso. Yeah, over in the side. So, but it sucks because she's there, right? She sees Kenny and obviously she wants to go ahead and save him.
Yeah.
Right? But then Kenny himself tells him like to just get out of there, right? And we see the look on Kenny's face too. He does not want to see them at all. He doesn't want them to be here in this situation. He's telling them, you guys got to get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
And then, unfortunately, that moment, or like I said, it's an off-screen death, but we see Kaven, the rubble goes from the ceiling, it falls, and it hits her on the head, causing her to essentially, get knocked down, and she falls.
And you can tell Kaven was well respected because then you had another one of her allies trying to go back to get her. Obviously, he
gets caught over in the falling,
in all the falling rubble, and it's kind of sad. I know that they're supposed to be the villains, but it's kind of sad.
And it sucks because there's a moment where you see with Kenny is that he stops and he wants to save them, but then he realizes that we talked about with him specifically, Kenny, that for him it's all about his survival. And so we see what he does is he makes essentially the decision to go ahead and
escape.
Yeah. And we could tell that we could see the pain in his eyes. You can tell that he really did care for Kaven. And I'm sure with him specifically, the Kenny Ackerman character, right? That I think there's probably not a lot of people that he cares about. At least to this magnitude, so to see him go ahead and deal, and we know that they have, who knows how many things that they have, faced and endured together as a team, and just trying to also just reclaim that power together, and go against the scouts and stuff, because again, the scouts going up against them is a tall task, but they were able to do it momentarily. And, it took a lot of teamwork, from the anti-personnel control squad. And, it's Kenny and Kaven are the ones leading the way.
Yeah.
So it's got to be difficult, to lose your right-hand person like that. And, but, again, he had to do what he had to do to survive. It sucks. But then we see, Levi and his squad literally like lined up against the wall with nowhere to go, because all that's in front of them is the Rod Titan.
Yeah. This giant thing.
There's nothing there And then Eren again, he goes and he's just like, it's so defeated, man. I got to go ahead and find the quote again, but he says that he's been dead weight every step of the damn way.
Yeah.
This power should have never been given to him. I can't be humanity's hope. I'm too weak. And this is a complete 180 from Eren earlier, right? To where he wanted all that weight on his shoulders. He wanted to be the hope of humanity, you know? He would not be denied. He was so determined. Yeah. He had so much hatred for the Titans.
He will be the one to free humanity from the Titans.
He will kill every single damn Titan, right?
Yeah.
And now you have this shell of himself where it's just, you know...
I feel like now in this scene would have been a good time to remind him of his mother.
Yeah.
Like, do you know why you're doing this? Remember your motivation.
But then there was a lifeline. Mm-hmm. And he sees...
all of his allies.
No, the lifeline was actually the capsule.
Oh, yes. I was going to actually ask about that. Like, how did he know that was...
It probably was written on it because you see that it's like in Japanese writing, over on the side of the capsule.
I must have not noticed that.
So I'm sure it was probably obviously written in...
Titan hardening. Also, where did you get that from? You just have power-ups in your bag, Rod Reiss?
Yeah, I know, right?
You just got that on you? All right.
But I mean, there was a lifeline there, and that's something that he noticed, and he kind of was like, "Oh my gosh," you know. But we see that he was still wavering, and like you mentioned with Jean, he's trying to go ahead and wake Eren up. We see that Connie is doing it too, which is cool to go ahead and see that awesome kind of camaraderie and relationship that they all have. Because again, just like what we talked about with the anti-personnel control squad, the scouts here, I mean, they have gone through so much together, you know, so. Like what Connie says, like you mentioned that, that they've been through a whole lot worse than this. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they have, but I mean, it's kind of a good kind of hopeful mindset to have, which is cool.
Be like, this isn't the first tragedy that we've been through, dude.
And then they start preparing in their minds, okay, how they're going to go ahead and get out of here. Connie tells, like he says, it's going to suck trying to fly through that mess. And then when he means that mess, he means he's staring at the Titan.
Yeah.
And he's seeing that any kind of potential gaps and creases he can go ahead and try to fly through as the rubble itself is falling. It's like, damn, it's going to be tough. Mika says she's ready. She says she's going to go ahead and she'll take Eren. Jean is preparing Historia, like, hey, all right, like you got to do whatever you can, blah, 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 whatever, right? And still Eren, he says it's useless. He says, we won't make it.
Yeah.
And then I love how Historia has heard enough.
Yeah.
She like really boils it down to just, you want to just sit here? Do you want to hold hands until we get crushed? You want to do nothing? Wait till we get burned to death? Foreshadowing there, unfortunately, for my guy. Mm-hmm. But she goes, dying here won't make anything better. Which is true because,
might as well just try.
If they die, there's, the Rod Reiss Titan is going to go out there. He's going to go ahead and do its thing. And it's going to cause a whole lot of harm to humanity. And we know that this guy is not an insane mind. And I like what Eddie said here is Rod conscious in this Titan, or probably not? And
yeah, it's his pure Titan, so
I don't know. I don't think it necessarily is. I think that right now he's probably in a blind rage because we know that he was just betrayed by Historia, by his daughter, right? And we saw the kind of state of mind that he was in. He was very much in a kind of panicking, very aggressive state of mind.
Yeah.
And so he probably in this Titan form is just like,
it's probably his pure Titan and probably not necessarily conscious of what he's doing, but it's one of those subconsciously you're acting in it, I think. Yeah,
I think that right now his emotions are taking over because if he was of sane mind, then like Eren was even like questioning to himself, like, why isn't he trying to eat me?
Yeah.
Because obviously if he was conscious in his mind, that he'd be trying to go after Eren.
Right now, he's just this pure Titan that's of royal blood.
Yeah, so I think that he would, again, first and foremost, try to go after Eren. Go ahead and eat Eren, and then he would, go back to his Rod Reiss form, but he has now the abilities and stuff,
Yeah.
But no, I think it's safe to say that he isn't of any sort of kind of conscious mind right now because
I agree.
He's in this blind rage. Eddie continues saying, it's really weird to be honest because we see this as his Titan, right? We see that his Titan does certain things that makes it seem subconscious.
Yeah, I completely. It's
kind of like what you were saying.
That's
right?
what I was saying. Yeah, I completely agree because. We'll talk about it in this next.
Yeah, the next part of
the next part, but also in the upcoming parts that will not be streamed live, but you guys will still see it in the rest of this episode. But like his goals and where he's going to, like it definitely seems like subconscious, which makes me think more like there are people still in those Titans. It's kind of like the whole like oh, they're zombie, like they're gone. The person that you knew is gone.
Well, do you remember?
No, are they still in there? That's the
Ymir
same
said
thing with,
that
Titans.
she essentially they saved her of a life of just living this constant nightmare, right?
Yeah, of just being stuck and just not being able to obviously control.
Yeah, no worries, SB. Thank you so much for joining us. SB said she's got to head out, but thank you so much again, SB. We appreciate you. We love you so much.
We'll miss you too,
So again, SB, stay tuned for those episodes that we're going to go ahead and publish. We'll have this episode available for you guys on Friday, but then next week's will be an episode where we weren't able to go ahead and stream live with you guys.
But it'll still be uploaded.
We will for sure be thinking of you guys next weekend, and it's just going to make things that much more exciting when we come back.
Yeah.
Like I said, we'll go and we'll probably be back streaming in 2 weeks. But that's just because I'm not going to be in town. I'm going to be over in Mississippi for work. But awesome, SB. Thank you so much. I love you so much again. Appreciate you and
much appreciated.
We'll see you soon.
Take care. We'll see you in a few weeks.
Yeah. So very, very interesting thing to go ahead and kind of think about, right? About the idea of
they're
these
kind of
people
like
being
in that Titan state.
Somewhat subconsciously stuck, right? And it's sad. It's a sad thing, because a lot of these Titans, I mean, they just they've been roaming around for years and years and years, and so just to be stuck in that constant nightmare, it's got to be difficult. And at that point, you're probably thinking that they're probably just waiting to die, finally to end this this suffering, this nightmare.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there is that capsule, right? Everybody's trying to do what they can to get Eren to wake up, dude, wake up, right? But then something very interesting is Levi. As Levi mentions, he says, I really hate to do this, right? Mm-hmm. So I really hate to do this all the time.
He always does it.
But he tells Eren again that you have to make a choice. And we know that he has given that kind of ultimatum to Eren a few times. Mm-hmm. Right? And something that Levi even explained early on that, really he doesn't know what the right choice is. Yeah. Right? And he said, I wouldn't blame you if you did the other thing, right? Uh-huh. So, I don't want to say that, hey, I wouldn't blame you if you decided to do nothing and let us all die, right? Because, I'm sure
that he would not agree with he definitely would just be like, well, I'm going to put some more pressure on you again. Sorry, I'm always, big old softy.
Yeah.
Secretly. And sorry, I'm always doing this to you, but I got to do this to you again.
Mm-hmm. But then we see that Eren, he goes back to that time when the Levi squad, the OG Levi squad was essentially babysitting Eren, right? Mm-hmm. Making sure that he kind of followed along. But Eren didn't want to do what the plan was because they weren't even fully aware of what the plan was, right? They were just trying to go ahead and blindly travel through the forest and lure the female Titan, right? Yeah. But Eren wanted to fight because so many lives were lost.
Yeah.
But they kept telling him, just trust us, right? And Eren had to decide, do I trust him or do I just go ahead and fight? You're right.
Yeah.
And
take matters into your own hands or trust your allies.
And then in that moment, we see that he trusted his allies. He screamed out that I'm with you. Right? And so he recalls that, and then he makes his decision.
Yeah.
And we see he's beginning to have that fight again.
Yeah, with the logic of, well, if we're going to die anyways, might as well just try things, I guess. Yeah. We're dying anyways.
And then we see that he goes and he grabs onto that capsule of that armor fluid. Mm-hmm. And he begins running towards the Rod Titan, right? We see that Eren is just yelling fiercely, right? And he's prepared to essentially lose his life because we see here as Eren says, that he says, I'm sorry. But since it's the end, just this one time, just let me believe that I can do this. Mm-hmm. And it's such strong words because it's almost like implying that he knows that he's about to go ahead and sacrifice himself, but let me just go ahead and believe that I can do this essentially so I can save his friends, right?
Yeah.
And
Like, let me have my life be like worth something at least.
And then we see that he bites down that capsule. He goes and he transforms into his Titan, and his Titan has not just the Titan look. Well, I mean, he looks like his Titan at first, but then he begins using that hardening ability, and that's something that he wasn't able to use. Obviously, this capsule is able to like unlock that power, but when he was trying to kind of learn to do essentially what Annie's able to do, right? She's able to channel the armor to a specific place, and she's able to go ahead and use that for whatever, you know,
to manipulate her body to have different armor.
And we know that with Annie and her Titan. I mean, we find out over in season 4 that her ability is mimicry, which is awesome, because that's something that Chiron himself told us way early over in season 1
this theory
when we were talking. So to get that confirmation was awesome. But
so cool.
We know that they were going through Titan trainings for Eren to try to do that and become strong, but he just wasn't able to do it. He was failing, right? And his Titan was getting weaker and weaker and weaker.
Not really knowing how to activate something that he's never really done before.
Yeah, and so now Eren's able to go ahead and get this this armor steroid, and and we see him
take your vitamins, and
we see him going and essentially, like we described here, it's creating like these hardened roots that are beginning to form along the chamber. They start climbing up the walls, and they start, you know, branching off and connecting to each other. And then you start seeing this like
really
cocoon.
Just like evolving into its own thing.
Yeah, this cocoon is beginning to go ahead and form, right? And then Levi, you know, he yells out,
"Quick acting, let's get under."
He goes to get under Eren. And then once everything is beginning to go ahead and collapse, and we see that there's this chamber can't hold this Rod Titan any longer.
Yeah.
Eren, now you see his Titan form is completely like covered with the hardening.
Yeah.
Right?
Face and then all, hair and all.
Yeah, he goes and he gives out his you know, ferocious Titan roar. And then, you know, we see that everything's getting ready to collapse. So,
and correct me if I'm wrong, but is this the first time we say Eren transform without biting his hand? Like him just using pre-existing injuries?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can do it.
So I mean, there's that, but also, you know, he transformed once he bit into the you know, the capsule. I'm sure that
and the glass
gave it a rush. Yeah, it's true. All the glass,
all the glass
probably all was breaking in his mouth.
But he also had, you know, the cut that we theorize that Kenny probably did that so that he can transform.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there's an injury there, now you can transform.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, we'll go ahead and we will continue on with this episode and get to its little close here in part 1.
Yeah.
But
we're already an hour and a half in.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So all right, here we go. So now, outside of the chapel, we see Armin and Moblet both carrying Hanji out to safety. And as they make their exit, they notice the chapel beginning to collapse. Moblet asks, "What's going on?" And then, like a large earthquake, everything around them begins to shake. And then we see the entire chapel get destroyed as it completely collapses. The ground around Armin and Moblet begin to split as they try to reach safe ground. Armin tells Moblet, "We just need to keep moving." They finally are able to make it to safety, away from everything collapsing under itself. They drop to their knees as Moblet asks, "Section Commander, are you okay?" Hanji, she's now responsive.
Yeah.
She answers, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Hanji, now responsive, answers.
Yeah. What happened?
And all three abruptly turn around as they notice this large Titan emerging from this depths of hell. This Titan, the Rod Titan, emerges and begins crawling away, leaving a trail of destruction, heat, and smoke. And as the camera pans away from the Rod Titan, we see at the top of a hill, Irvin and the scouts watching this atrocity from a distance. A scout asks,
"What the hell is that? If it's that big from a distance, that thing must be at least twice the size of the colossal Titan. It'll break through the wall in an instant. What now?
And without losing any composure, and in a heartbeat, Irvin responds, "We advance!" And then we see Irvin leading the way as the scouts following the Rod Titan. And then we get a pitch black screen. And in this pitch black, we can see a Titan spine. And then we see the spine leads to the rib cage. And then we see this Titan skeleton. But we can hear Mikasa faintly calling Eren's name in the background. As Mikasa begins to sound more clearly, we hear her very worried.
Can you hear me?
And then we hear hectic, panicking digging. And as we go ahead and travel through the spine, to the rib cage, to the shoulders, to the top of that Titan, we see at the head of this Titan skeleton, we notice Eren's head. But it's a strange fusion of Eren's human head with his Titan teeth. Mikasa continues her panicking plea.
Wake up!
And then Eren's eyes abruptly open. And then we see Mikasa frantically using her blade to carve Eren's body out of the hardened armor. She's able to free him enough to where her and Jean could pull him free. Jean screams out to Eren as their camera pans, and we see that they have removed him from the nape of his hardened Titan's shell. And around this Titan shell, we see nothing, as everything has been destroyed. To be continued.
Great timing with the music there.
Wow.
So twice the size of the Colossal Titan.
Just think about that for a moment, right?
He's called Colossal Titan for a reason.
Yeah, the Colossal Titan, where we see the Colossal Titan, I mean, he the first look of the Colossal Titan is him literally looking over the walls. Mm-hmm. Right?
And the walls are supposed to be like 50 feet? No,
it's like we're talking about meters.
Yeah, 50 meters high.
You know? And everything we've seen from the Colossal Titan has been
very destructive.
We've been like shown his destruction and also his like intimidating size, right?
Yeah.
And when you have a Titan that is described as twice the size of the Colossal Titan, you gotta think to yourself.
It doesn't really seem like you can really control the situation.
Like, what the hell do we do? And that's why even the scout was even saying, like,
now what?
Like, that thing will break through the wall in an instant. Exactly. What now? But I love it. I love
Irvin.
That Irvin is not
Irvin drive.
He's not pausing. He's not afraid. Mm-mm. He's not stopping. He's not stalling. He's not hesitating for a moment. And we see him still so determined as ever, still just ready to continue. Mm-hmm. And he just screams out, "We advance."
Yeah. And it's Irvin way. There's no motivation like Irvin.
And I'm sure his scouts hesitantly follow, as they're not
they're like
trying to go ahead and run
sure thing, sir.
Away. No, they're running towards that thing. And it's crazy. So to go and get some more insight, Eddie is saying that in terms of the size here of this Titan, right? Eddie says, so that means that the Rod Titan is like 400 feet tall.
Let me find out.
And that's insane. As Lexi goes and finds out, but I love it. Eddie says, and that's why Irvin is my favorite character. Yeah, because the dude never wavers. We've talked about it before plenty of times with Irvin. I mean, he is determined to the end, regardless of what it takes. And we know that if that means sacrificing some scouts to ensure one step closer to whatever the goal is, that he's willing to do it.
Got it.
Yeah, I mean, this dude will not waver at all. You got some clarity for us?
So standing Rod Reiss's Titan is 120 meters, but when he's laying down, he's 40 meters, and 120 meters in feet is 393 feet in inches.
So very good, Eddie.
Good job, Eddie. Yeah, he is around 400.
So Eddie
feet
was
tall.
rounding up.
Yeah, he was rounding up a little bit. But yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, very good, Eddie.
And just think about that, guys. I mean, being faced with this is your next obstacle. Is this thing that is like 390 plus feet, right? Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
And again, like, what do you do?
Intimidating.
Can you imagine the thought? What went through Armin, Moblet, Hanji's mind when their eyes witnessed it for themselves? This monstrosity of a Titan emerging from the ground, emerging literally from where they just escaped from.
Yeah.
Not only are they thinking, what the hell is that thing? But like,
how do we control that thing?
no, well, not even, well, also, but still, like, our friends were down there,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like, you got to think that they are probably convinced that, you know, nobody underground survived.
Yeah. Yeah,
And-
they're all, I'm sure a lot of the anti-personnel squad, I keep forgetting the name, anti-personnel elite squad?
Close. Anti-personnel control squad.
Control squad.
They're known as, like, kind of in short, the elites, Kenny's elites, you know?
Anti-personnel control squad.
Yeah. You know,
yeah.
it's like the band name is, they're kind of like just Kenny and the Jets.
Yeah,
you know?
Kenny and the elites.
Yeah.
not Benny, Kenny and the Jets.
Kenny and the Jets.
Kenny and the elites. But you got to think, like, a lot of them definitely did not make it out.
No, I'm convinced
I mean,
that
a lot
none
of them
did.
already
Anybody who was not
died
underneath
from
and
the battle, and
Yeah.
then even if those that are just injured, like, oh, I just need help, I'm injured on the floor. Yeah, you're dead.
yeah, they're stuck. I mean, we know that
Didn't
Kenny
think you
was able to just narrowly escape, right? Anybody that's not underneath Aaron's hardened Titan form has got to be presumed dead.
did. Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like, that's just what it is. And yeah, it's unfortunate, it's scary, but yeah, I mean, we see that, you know, thankfully Armin and Mobley were able to go ahead and escape with Hanji. Again, you know, obviously we got that scare that, you know, my gosh, is Hanji okay? You know, we see that she is alert.
Yeah.
You know, she's not fully aware of what happened. She's asking, and then the first thing she sees is this Titan.
Yeah.
She got to be.
I'm good. What's going on?
That's got to be so confusing for her when, like, let's say, for the sake of this theory here, right? Like, she goes and she encounters Kaven. She thinks that she's a reckless, just another elite, and then she ends up getting freaking harpooned, and she crashes into the wall, and that's the last thing she remembers.
Yeah.
Right. She hits the wall. She goes and she falls, and she gets knocked out. Right. And we see that the others, they're essentially carrying her. You know, they're trying to go ahead and continue with her. She looks like she's unconscious.
Obviously, Moblet's by her side.
When the last thing you remember is battling the anti-personnel control squad, right? And then when you wake up and you see this 393 freaking feet tall Titan
Yeah.
that is crawling, that is exuding fire and heat,
Yeah.
that is leaving this pathway of destruction, what is going through your mind?
Oh my gosh, especially with Hanji being so interested in Titans too, just being like, I'm sure her main concern firstly,
The
other than
safety of
asking,
her allies.
yeah,
But
that's why she
after
was
that,
like,
it's,
what happened?
oh my gosh, what is that thing?
I know, what are you? Magnificent.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure that her primary concern is like, where's everyone else? Obviously, her immediately asking what happened. She's trying to get caught up as quickly as possible now that she's awake,
Yeah.
which is daunting.
Yeah, and yeah, you know, now you know what your next obstacle is, and
And then we were able to kind of like a mirroring when Armin did it in season 1. We have Mikasa breaking Eren out of his Titan form and waking him up.
yeah,
Like when Armin did it in season 1.
that's so weird seeing this state of when
He's got like the spine, the symbolic, like a Titan spine,
Yeah.
and everything, and the ribs and everything, and then
everything is all
And then his,
skeletal
like,
except for his
his
head.
teenage face.
Literally just his human head, but it still has
But the
his
teeth
Attack
are-
Titan teeth.
Yeah.
And it's
Like,
weird.
what?
And it's like, what the hell? Like, why?
He's beginning to merge as one.
I mean, I guess, I don't know.
He's beginning to believe.
And then again, it's like when you hear Mikasa faintly panicking and just like, you know, Eren.
Yeah.
And she's like, you know, wake up, you know, and stuff.
Yeah,
and it's
obviously
like,
so.
It's like, whoa.
Because that's her guy.
Yeah. And, yeah, it's got to be scary. But we see that at least Eren is okay.
Mm-hmm.
We see that Jean and Mikasa are okay.
Mm-hmm.
We'll find out the others are okay.
Yeah.
But that's the end of this part 1 episode breakdown discussion.
That's where that part ends.
Do we have any other final thoughts behind what we just witnessed? Is there any other theories we want to go ahead and tap into? Is there anything that we thought of that maybe was foreshadowing or not?
So far, no.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I might have some in the next part.
Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and get a better look of this Titan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you guys have any about the next part of this episode and you guys want to send in a message that we can talk about, because obviously we're not streaming live, feel free to go ahead and contact us on our Instagram.
Yeah. I want to go ahead and mention again to people who missed it over in the start of the episode that I'm going to be gone for essentially 2 weeks for work. I'll be over in Mississippi.
MISSI.
And that means we won't be able to stream live on Sundays, but we plan on recording a few episodes this week so that, you know, Friday we have some stuff for you guys to go ahead and you know, to get some episodes available for you guys.
Yeah.
As we mentioned, so this coming Friday will be this episode, excuse me. I'm like you at the start of the episode now.
Yeah. Just cough. I was coughing up a whole lung.
But yeah, so this Friday will be this episode edited and all ready to go. You know, obviously by Nate. And then next week we'll have an episode for you guys, but it won't be a streamed episode. It'll just be an episode of us covering the next part of this episode.
Mm-hmm.
And like Lexi mentioned, if there's anything you want us to go ahead and talk about, anything to cover, you know, go ahead and message us so that when we go ahead and do our episodes this week and we record them, you guys, you know, we can go ahead and talk about them.
Mm-hmm.
To give you guys a little bit of insight as far as when we plan on trying to record our episodes, we're thinking of maybe Tuesday and Thursday of this week.
Yeah.
But again, we're just going to go ahead and record them and not stream. I mean, I guess we can always, I mean, it's not going to be the same, but I mean, we can always go ahead and upload them to, you know, to Twitch afterwards.
Yeah, so that you guys can get a sneak
draft
peek.
And stuff, you know, and then.
But you'll still be able to get it on our normal upload days on Fridays and everything.
Once Nate's able to go ahead and get it all edited and stuff, you know, they'll be available over on Fridays per usual. And and you obviously want to give you guys a heads up again that, you know, we won't be streaming live this weekend. Which is a bummer because I'm gonna miss you guys a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be over, like Eddie mentions, I'll be going down to the Mississippi River.
To the Mississippi River.
No, yeah, I'll be over in a Mississippi box plant installing some machinery, and yeah, that'd be fun. I mean, I'm gonna be building some ODM gear and you know, and all that.
He's actually doing some mocap.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Mocap for a role.
And
But again, if you guys have anything you guys want us to talk about on Tuesday or Thursday, go ahead and send us a message about anything that you guys know that's happening currently in the episode. You know, any theories you have with the Reiss Titan or anything that goes along with the Attack on Titan topic.
Yeah. We would love to hear from you guys.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for listening to this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed.
Yeah, so I think we can go ahead and get to a close.
While you do that, I drink an entire bottle of water and I need to pee.
Go for it. All right, guys. So that means that wraps up another episode of the Attack Talk podcast. This is season 3. We just talked about season 3, episode 8. This is part 1 of the episode breakdown and discussion. This episode's name, again, is a longer one. It's Outside the Walls of Orvud District. This is part 1, as I also just mentioned. And we want to thank you guys so much for joining us. Remember, guys, new episodes are going to be available Fridays. Yeah, Eddie says, oh, AJ Machinist also constructs skateboard manufacturers. Yeah, Machinists do a lot of different things, but we specialize over on corrugated boxes. Not as fun as skateboards, but we need these corrugated boxes because, you know, all the different online spending, right? All the different shipping that happens. I need all those boxes. But yeah, that's what we go ahead and we focus on. Not the most glamorous thing, but everything has a reason. But yeah, make sure you guys get all of your updates over on the Instagram, which is at AttackOnTitan. We want to thank you guys so much for all the support. You guys are awesome. We love when you guys send us, just some memes or whatnot, or any messages, and yeah, it's just fun to go ahead and talk to you guys. If you guys are interested in all the different platforms we're on, we have the link tree over on our Instagram profile page. You click that link tree and there's all the different platforms that we're available on. We'd appreciate if you guys followed us on the different platforms, so that way you guys have the access and the availability to check us out on the different platforms, whether it be Apple Podcasts, whether it be Spotify, YouTube. You can always go ahead and watch us back over on Twitch. The VOD will be available for 2 weeks, and yeah, the different platforms for you guys to go ahead and see. Eddie says, I see that primitive shirt. Yeah, I got it. I believe it is. Let me see if I can turn around very, very quickly. I believe it's Deku. That's what I'm working with there, guys. Got myself my Deku shirt. But yeah. So find us over at Attack to Talk Podcast on Instagram. Follow us for all your updates. And of course, we want to give a huge shout out to Nate. Nate is the one who puts this all together and makes sure that it's available for you guys over on Fridays when it's published. And
yeah, thank you, Nate.
Nate was a busy guy this week, so we published it on Saturday. Nate did everything he could to make sure he got it all prepared in a timely manner. Nate had to go and deal with some technical issues, and so thank you again, Nate, for just doing everything you can to make sure that the episode was available on time. And you're awesome, my friend. I appreciate you so much. This podcast is nothing without you, and I'm just so grateful for you. So shout out to Nate. Go ahead and check out his Twitch channel. Go support him. His Twitch channel is NatePlaysBad. He also has YouTube, NatePlaysBad. And you can go ahead and find his Twitter over at the YouTube episode description. So go ahead and support Nate. He's an awesome dude. I love Nate a lot. And you guys know, of course, as I mentioned, the link tree is different platforms for us to go ahead where you can find us on. But there's also links to help you guys out if you guys are interested in some merch.
Yeah.
So one of those links is our good pals at Collector Sesh. If you guys are interested in some, merch that involves like figurines,
posters,
stickers,
keychains, lanyards,
all that good stuff that Lexi's mentioning. They have a lot of different stuff. So you guys go ahead and check it out if you guys are interested in. The link is at Collector Sesh. Mm-hmm. It'll take you to their online store. You guys go and do your browsing, see anything you like, then awesome. They also have their Instagram, collector_sesh, as well as a second Instagram at Geeky Statues, where you can check out the different little cool character figurines that they have available. Check it out, guys. And then if you guys are interested in some merch, like clothing and all that, whether it be anime merch, whether it be just alternative merch or any other merch in terms of clothing, Lexi has a link for you guys to use and a promo code, and that link is the Fandomion link available in our link tree. You click that link, it'll take you to their online store where you can go ahead and do your shopping, and if you see anything you like, make sure you guys use that promo code.
Promo code Lex, L-E-X.
Promo code Lex, L-E-X. Like it. Any updates on that, Lex?
So far, nothing yet.
Okay.
But I'll let you guys know.
Remember, guys, you go ahead and use that promo code, and it'll save you 10% off of your purchase order. Mm-hmm. So now we got to go ahead and talk about our very artistic friends, starting with our good pal, Caesar. Caesar, you are the man. We appreciate you so much. Keep doing your thing, Caesar. You're putting out some awesome work. We know that you've been working on some big things. We wish you nothing but the best, Caesar, and we're so thankful for you, man, and just meeting you, and we're happy that we're able to go ahead and just try to show our support and trying to make sure that we get the word out that people need to go and see your art. So in order to see his art, you got to go ahead and follow him on Instagram. Make sure you follow him on Instagram at art_of_Caesar_. Art of Caesar. Type that in. You'll find him.
Yeah.
He has some incredible art, guys. His style of art is so interesting, and I love it a lot. And
super cool.
You guys can go ahead and see all the different types of art that he created and he drew up over on his Instagram. And if you guys are interested in potentially purchasing any of his art, we have a link available in our link tree that'll take you to his Etsy store. And he has, I believe, 20 different pieces of art that is available for purchase. And
check that out in our link tree.
Yeah. It would mean a lot to us too if you went and you purchased some art from Caesar. And if you guys end up purchasing art, shoot, let us know. Send us a picture of what you end up purchasing.
Yeah.
So shout out to our good pal Caesar. We have some artistic friends that join us here on a weekly basis, starting with Eddie. I mean, Eddie is Eddie's saying, hey, get to hang with Caesar this upcoming Friday. That is awesome, man.
I'm glad to see that.
Send
cool.
Caesar our best regards. Tell him that
we're all connected.
Tell him that we are just so happy and thankful for him. Tell him the Attack the Talk podcast loves him. We say hi, and to keep
doing his thing.
Keep doing his thing for sure. And you too, Eddie. Keep doing your thing, man. Because Eddie is another friend who is, he's got that artistic, creative DNA about him.
Yeah.
He's a very, very creative person. We see that he does art. He mentioned some skateboard stuff. We know that he skates. He has his YouTube channel at Eddie Hinston.
Animated music videos.
He does kind of like tutorial vids.
Mm-hmm.
And he, like Lexi mentioned, I mean, he does awesome little music video stuff with Attack, on Titan.
Mm-hmm.
And Eddie himself has some art. You can go ahead and see that art at Art de Juan. Art de Juan. Check it out, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Show our support to our bud, Eddie. And Eddie, you have fun on Friday.
Yeah.
Shout out to our friend Marco as well.
Yeah, Marco, we miss you.
Marco was able to join us when we did our awesome little audition stream.
Yeah, that was really cool.
It was very, very cool talking to Marco. We miss him a lot. We wish you the best, Marco. Hope everything is going well. And it's always a treat whenever you join us. And like Lexi mentioned, we miss you. And hopefully you get to go ahead and join us when we come back. That'd be awesome. We want all of our friends to join us when we come back because we're going to miss you guys a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, shout out to Marco. You can go ahead and see his art that he does at his Instagram at Marco Momone. That is Mark O. The O in Marco is a 0.
Mm-hmm.
That is Momone. Mamonnne.
Nope.
N-E.
Yeah.
One N.
One N.
Marco Momone with one N. So check it out, guys. We, of course, want to go ahead and show our support to our good pal, Kyron, man.
Yes.
Kyron, again, is our TikTok guru, man. He goes and he's been putting out some awesome content. We're so thankful for you, Kyron, for just all the work that you put into the Attack the Talk podcast TikTok, because it's something that you really just didn't even have to go ahead and do, man. But the fact that you just took it from Lex, went and ran with it, is it's awesome, man. We're so thankful. That we have friends that really just want to go ahead and help. And we know that you guys go and show your support, and we're so thankful for that. But if you guys go out of your way to just to that capacity of just, creating content that's going to help spread the word and help grow this podcast, means the world. And like I mentioned at the start of this podcast episode too, I'm going to need your guys' help too of trying to spread the word on, my reign of Shigaraki, and keep an eye out for Lexi's TikToks at her TikTok at Lisa
Leximundos 3.
Leximundos 3. And whenever Lexi is posting, any of my little audition reels of Shiggy, just go ahead and repost it, try to tag the powers that be, try to get it to go ahead and create some waves and stuff. And
I put it on our Attack the Talk story, so go ahead and check that out on Attack the Talk podcast on Instagram.
Yeah.
Easy for you to click through.
So Eddie says, thank you so much. I tried, but I've been skating more since I have a contest coming up on the 21st of June. I'll be more active.
Good luck.
For sure. And if I make an animated music video, does that make me a musician? I mean, you know what?
That definitely makes you creative.
You are a creative mind, and it just makes you an artist. That's what it makes you, man.
And good luck on your competition. Good luck. Contest coming up. Hope it goes well.
Hope you break a leg.
And be safe. Right when I said be safe. Almost dropped
that was Lexi's phone. She almost dropped it.
Almost.
No, but in all seriousness, Eddie, hope you do well, man. It's so awesome that you're getting after it, man. whether it be skating, whether it be art, whether it be your videos. I love the fact that you just your drive it's awesome. It's very, very motivating, and that's why for me I want to go ahead and continue to do these little shiggy little audition reels, and I have some cosplay ideas in the works, and hopefully it all comes out well. But for me, I just want to push myself to try to just attract some eyes and and somehow find an opportunity.
Yeah,
because that's what we're looking for, guys. If we're passionate about something, we're just trying to get an opportunity to where we can prove to the powers that be and prove to ourselves that we have what it takes.
Yeah.
To take that leap, to take that chance, right? And then we know that, shoot, I mean, looks like Eddie's been doing it, man. Eddie's been, he's been going busy with the stuff. And I know that our friend Kyron also, man. He said he's been busy, and it's happy to hear that he's doing well. But we know that Kyron has, he's been doing his photography stuff over at his Instagram. Check it out, guys, over at Portraits by KA. So shout out to Kyron. And like I say, Kyron also is doing the TikTok stuff, and just thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But with all that being said, guys, I think it's time for us to finally go and get out of here. So you guys are awesome. Oh, wow, cool. Gottitz is actually Eddie's girlfriend, which is cool. And I keep annoying her about you guys. Finally got her to join tonight. And that is so
Thank you
cool.
for the support.
So Gottitz,
hello, Gottitz.
welcome.
Welcome.
We're so thankful that you're able to join us, as we said, as soon as we saw your message. And Eddie, thank you for annoying her about us. And
thanks for spreading the word.
Gottitz, you are welcomed anytime. And we're thankful for you whenever you join us. And we love it whenever you go ahead and you engage in conversation with us. And and yeah, so welcome to the family.
Yep.
So you guys are awesome. We love you guys so much. We're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Remember, guys, we will miss you. We'll be away for probably a couple weeks, but when we come back, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
and
you'll still get some episodes.
We'll go ahead and we'll miss you guys a lot. But yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll make sure we still get some Attack the Talk content for you guys. I'm supposed to get some cosplay stuff showing up this week, so never know. Before I leave, I might might try to go ahead and get Zach on board to go ahead and help me out with some stuff. We talked about it a little bit yesterday, but don't want to go and promise anything.
Yeah,
but you never know.
We'll see. Stay tuned, guys.
But your guys' support's awesome. We love you guys very much. Make sure you guys look out for those future Q&As, future poll questions that we go ahead and come up with. Your guys' feedback is always so much appreciated, and it's very, very needed. Again, you guys are the best. Shout out to Attack the Talk Levi Squad.
Yep.
This is AJ saying that I love you guys. Saying just to go ahead and just continue just striving to be your best self. Try to have that positivity. I know it's a tough thing to do, guys. We know, sometimes throughout our daily lives and activities, we are in a funk or something is bothering us or whatever it is. But, just push through it. There's a lot of love waiting for you guys in this life. And I hope that we show you guys that love, because we feel that love from you guys. And, but just keep striving to be your best self. Yeah. We hate, we love. Yeah. You guys are awesome. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys as soon as we come back. So with all that being said, this is AJ, and I'll miss you guys, and yeah, I'm out of here. All right, Lexi, go ahead and close us out.
All right, this is Lexi, and I hope you guys take care. Be mindful, set personal goals, stay healthy, stay safe. And my word of wisdom for this week is don't worry about the stuff that you can't control.
Beautiful.
Love you guys.
All right.
See you guys next week,
Love you guys.
hopefully.